Welcome to the Big Suey, a podcast exclusive.
Risky move.
Just when you thought the show could not be more diluted.
Walk the plank!
Bam!
No more free Disney trips.
Now here's the marching band of nowhere.
Arr, matey.
Fatface.
Dan's been stress eating.
And the habitual liar.
Stugotz can't be trusted.
The Big Suey.
Yo ho, a pirate radio life for me.
Not that long ago, I really didn't think I was going to see something like this in my lifetime, where you have a Las Vegas Raider defensive lineman. I had not heard of him before yesterday, Carl Nassib, and he has, I don't want to say declared, because he did it naturally. He did it, it seemed casually. It seemed like he was pretty comfortable, and it represented progress for me. Over the years, I've talked to John Amaechi a lot about this subject, and I've been pessimistic. I think it's fair to say that you've been pessimistic about the challenges that would be presented here, especially in American football, which can be particularly conservative and particularly caveman. People want to hear from you today, John. I've gotten a lot of people who want to hear what you have to say about this, and I have told the story before, you've told the story before, of a time when you missed a phone call and a person who needed your help during a dark time, struggling with his sexuality, had committed suicide, and it is something that stays with you. Nassib has come out and said he's donating $100,000 here to help with this message, and just by coming out, he helps. Does he not, John? And thank you for making the time. I know you're very busy, but just by doing this, he still helps, no matter how much progress I think has been made on this front.
Yeah, it's hugely impactful when young people and families and fans can see that what they had imagined, this narrow picture of what they'd imagined an athlete might be in their chosen sport, is now expanded a little bit. It's important that people have role models, and so this is big. This is great. I think it is important to note that he's not the only current gay athlete in men's sports. It's important to know that he's unlikely. In fact, I know he's not the only gay athlete who has talked to their teammates and friends and families. And so when people talk about being out, just because you've heard the news today does not make it official. Your lack of knowledge of someone else's sexuality does not mean that they are hiding. It just means they haven't told you.
When are we going to stop caring about this? It seems like a silly thing to care about.
It's an incredibly stupid thing to care about. It's an incredibly dumb thing to care about. It's so weird. If it was about straight people, it would be so weirdly intrusive. The idea that I would get to observe the life of other people, perhaps colleagues and coworkers, and say, no, I don't approve of your wife. I don't approve of your partner. Your partner is unacceptable to me. The nature of your relationship with this person is unacceptable to me. It should be as disgusting as conversations about anti-miscegenation, the idea that people didn't want the mixing of the races. It should be that disgusting to us to watch people judge. I mean, if you don't like gay people or gayness, my recommendation is to not try it. That would be my recommendation. Don't do it. Do not, as a man, kiss other men. Do not fall in love with them romantically. Don't do that if that's not for you, if you're a straight person. But the idea that you get to judge and approve of or not approve of is just, it's still crazy. But Dan, when is this going to be not news? Look at the political environment. Look at the weaponization of identity right now. And people think it's black people weaponizing it against white people. People think it's gay people weaponizing against straight people, and it is not. It is those in the majority and those in power twisting the narrative. And so it's going to be news. I don't know. I can't see a point when it's not.
I don't know if it's fair to hyper-analyze the way this sort of thing is done, but the way that he did it impressed me because he felt comfortable. I don't know whether he's acting or not, but I remember, and you're a man of uncommon strength, and I've talked before on this show about how I thought you were uniquely qualified to carry this flag. And I remember after your career, you wrote a book in which you came out. And I remember talking to you the day the book was coming out, and you were practically hyperventilating because of the difficulty of it. So I was legitimately impressed by how casually he delivered what was fairly seismic news in this arena.
I think I think he did it in a way that was very personal to him and important to him. I would very much doubt that it carried no personal jeopardy or he wasn't nervous. The fact that he conveyed it in that way is remarkable. But there is jeopardy. There will be comments. I don't know what social media he's on, if any, but if he is on any, there will be comments right now. Things as vociferous as death threats will be winging his way on Facebook groups right now. So let's not pretend that it's not without jeopardy. It is with great jeopardy that people do this. And we have, just because the NFL sends a nice message, they sent a nice message about Black Lives Matter, but Kaepernick still doesn't have a job. So we just have to be aware that rhetoric and action don't always match up. He's done a very important thing in a way that I think will be more impactful because of how he did it. And I am grateful to him.
The last time you were on, you explained to us that the locker room is a little more or a lot more accepting than the positions of power and authority that make some of this stuff stick. And I remember, John, when Michael Sam on draft day, and Michael Sam had the help of marketing and image people who were pushing him to be more aggressive with his messaging. And when I say aggressive, I'm just talking about kissing your man in public on draft day in a way that might make the powers that be in the NFL uncomfortable. And so I thought the juxtaposition of that with this on the messaging, I don't know whether it's important or not, but it did strike me as different enough to be received less hostilely.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that that's a positive necessarily. I think for as long as straight people get to pretend that when gay people express their love for each other through a kiss, an anodyne kiss, that is somehow activism. I don't think that forcing gay people to be asexual drones in order to be acceptable, forcing them to be butch, I don't think that's progress any more than forcing women to be demure and feminine, whatever that means. I think that this was his legitimate way of doing it that was resonant with him, and that's what I will stick with. If we do see a point where maybe he has a partner, or if he has a partner and they can't ever touch each other in public, that's not progress. If you only accept someone when they behave the way that you want, that is the world we live. I mean, this has been the crux of the challenge, right? Every time a black person gets killed, the question is, why didn't he comply? Why did he argue? When a gay person gets beaten up, or a woman gets beaten up or raped, why was her skirt so short? No, that. People are this radical, beautiful picture of a spectrum. And we confine boys and girls, we confine men and women by expecting them to fit with some ridiculous, often 1950s characterization. I think what he did was beautiful. I am hoping that he did it in a way that felt most comfortable for him. And I'm hoping that if that changes and he wants to express himself in a different way, he gets to do that.
What do you imagine the challenges are going to be for him going forward?
Scrutiny. It won't be his teammates. It'll be the idea that now people will want to know everything about him and about his life, and he won't be able to go anywhere without being observed constantly. And that will be less than optimal, judging by the tone of what he said today. But that's what it'll be. It'll be the idea that you have to live life under a microscope, which is unpleasant. As you said at the very beginning of this, you didn't know his name before today. And now a bunch of people who don't care about him know his name too.
What might not he be prepared for?
He's prepared. He's prepared. He will have been given counsel from somebody. He will have reached out to other people who have come out in the past. I don't know whether it'll be Dave Cope or somebody else. He'll have friends and family around him who will advise and counsel him. I imagine him to be well equipped for this.
What kind of strength do you imagine it's going to require?
I think he's going to have to, I think he probably has already a singular focus on doing his job really well. That is the most primary thing right now. The thing that will shut people up most quickly is him doing his job excellently well. And that's what he has to focus on now, amidst the scrutiny and amidst some probably hyperbolic commentary that he'll receive. Just do your job really well and try and keep the balance that he so clearly has in his life currently.
Travis Kelce did a dating show as a tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs where he dated many, many women. The Chiefs did not like that. They ended it after a year. They didn't like that taking him away from his job. What are the Raiders going to say or do about him going on an interview tour? You know, the dreaded distractions, the things, and I don't know how he's going to handle any of that stuff. And I don't know. You threw your hands up, you put your head is now in your hands. So, you've made a fist, but you know,
this is, we've, you know what we need in this world? We need people who, and you do this, but I know you're asking this to provoke me and make me mad, which you have successfully done, but we need better questions to these organizations. It is bullshit to talk about distraction with Michael Sam or anybody else. It is absolute bullshit. How about you get the convicted rapists off your teams? How about you get the people who dogfight and then come back off your teams? That is a distraction. How about you deal with the fact that you apparently had a mechanism where you judge people's intelligence based on their skin color in order to give them differential payouts for causing their brain injury. That's a distraction. How about you stop being a f***ing charity? That's a distraction. No, being who you are is not a distraction. Right now, in the zeitgeist, in social media, there are tens of more inflammatory posts. There are athletes who are posting about the vaccine making you magnetic. That's a distraction. And it's immensely stupid. Sanction that. Let this guy get on with his life and do his job.
What would you advise him about scrutiny, about publicity, about how to handle that part of it? Beyond do your job and focus on your job, but now he becomes a not only a symbol, but a voice, an advocate that has expectations he's never had before.
I imagine that he has always known, to at least some people, he is disproportionately powerful. While I would say is just remember that is still true, but to more people now. You are more influential. I would tell him that my mother told me when I was very young that there are people in this world who are connected to you and care about you. And when they speak to you, their words are substantive and weighty, and you should take them like bricks and build a foundation with them. And there are others in this world who are not connected with you and do not care about you. And their words are like feathers. You would no more build on them. You would blow them away. Just remember that half of what he's going to hear right now is from people whose words are like feathers, and they should be blown away.
It came up on my timeline, John, the way that I learned of this. It was back to back. The story I saw right before it was about another American football player, Frank Clark, who had gotten into trouble because he had an Uzi in his Lambo SUV. And I when I saw those two things together, I just sort of wondered, well, how is this going to go over in that locker room? Amaechi spoke of his locker room as a more progressive place, and I think that the most barbaric of the locker rooms, and admittedly, this is dated information because I have not spent a lot of time in football locker rooms recently, and this generation is vastly more progressive and less repressed, I would say, than my generation. But when I saw those two things juxtaposed, I thought to myself, well, the guy with an Uzi in his Lambo SUV might not be the most open-minded. That might be unfair of me to say, but I did wonder about this particular locker room in this culture.
Yeah, so that particular individual, I mean, perhaps that's the case, but I would question why that particular individual's in the NFL in the first place, right? So why are they still in the NFL? I don't get what that is. It just seems incompatible with the image they're attempting to cultivate, or maybe it's completely compatible with the image that they actually have. I don't know. But it is not fair to say that football players, just because they are American football players, just because they knock heads, it doesn't mean there's nothing inside of them. Just because they have to be aggressive does not mean they have no heart. I think teammates love each other, and I think that will prevail.
When you're talking about the image that the NFL wants to convey, I know last year during the My Cause, My Cleats campaign, there were a few players who had cleats that were supporting causes that were anti-LGBT, but maybe not like, you know, overtly anti-LGBT, maybe like behind this kind of Christianity veil. So what is the NFL's place now in telling those athletes whether or not they can support those causes on their NFL cleats during a game? Or do they have, should they, I guess?
No, it's a good question. I think there's no tension necessarily between believing your Bronze Age scripture that tells you that homosexuality, at least in one of the interpretations of that particular chapter in Leviticus, or that particular part of the Quran, that homosexuality is bad. But there's a huge leap between your scripture saying homosexuality is bad and you treating people who are gay with incivility. There are lots of things in this world that I don't understand or don't agree with, but it does not necessitate my cruelty towards people who do those things or believe those things. I'm an atheist. I have never found it required to make fun of somebody who leaves a temple or a mosque or a church on a Saturday or Sunday. I've never found it important, or Friday night prayers. I have found that if that is the way you find joy, then my job is to embrace your joy. That's it. So you support your LGBTQ cause, somebody else supports their church. There is a tension only if that church is running programs that damage gay people. If that church runs programs that says, yes, being gay is a disease and we can fix it, which is not true and not technically right, then that's where I think there's a tension. But having faith and being LGBT, there's lots of people who can combine both.
As a clinical psychologist, where does that cruelty come from?
I don't know. I just talked to a group of teachers earlier today, and it was really, really challenging because I don't understand. I understand so much, I thought I did anyway. And now I don't understand. I don't understand why people would want to be so harmful when they know that it could cause death. Why would you be so cavalier with the identities of people? The most precious thing we have is who we are. Why would anybody be so cavalier with somebody else's precious things? I used to think I had answers, and I don't know except to say that sometimes cruelty is a way to hide your own pain.
What happened with those teachers?
I had to tell them that I don't have the answers to why parents of children would want to be so cruel towards children of certain faiths or children with certain backgrounds or children with certain sexualities. I had to tell them that I don't know why. And I've read research. I understand what the research says. But when the rubber meets the road, when you see a grown-up yelling at a child, a boy who of 11 or 12 who happens to be wearing nail varnish, the research pales. How do you understand? I am powerful. I am huge, and it always makes me more careful, not less. So maybe that's part of it. Maybe people fear that their power base is being eroded, and the only way they can maintain it is by pushing someone lower. It seems like a sad way to live.
Among the things that bother you in this realm, is there one that is higher than the ignorance or the hatred or the cruelty wrapped in religion?
I mean, it strikes me that a lot of people who follow a faith would not be recognized by the leaders of those faiths. I mean, I'm talking about Jesus and I'm talking about Muhammad. I just don't think that many of the people who follow these faiths would be recognized by the deities that they laud. I just don't think there's a tension. I don't understand it. Your belief gives you a sense of calm and warmth and whatever else. My lack of faith grants me that same peace. That my reliance on evidence and the guidance of reality and the wonder of ignorance, of not knowing stuff about our universe and our world, I just don't understand why they have to compete. I don't need everybody to think like I think. I just need people to behave in a way that recognizes that their supremacy ends at my body.
This news today, which is being received with applause, it's a bit impossible to not sort of notice that you've also had a dispiriting day with a group of teachers, and you combine those two things. And yes, it's nice as a symbol, but it feels like there's a lot of work to do. And all that something like this does sometimes is just stir all of the tensions that have been hidden so that people can fight about something again.
They're not hidden. They're not hidden. This young man is a force for good. What he has done today, there is a young person watching him right now who has walked to school lighter, even if they have disclosed nothing about themselves. They have walked to school with a greater sense of hope today because of this young man. That is a good thing. That is a good thing. As for stirring the pot is not stirred. My day is a cacophony of insults, racist abuse, homophobic abuse. That is my day. I wake up in the morning and the first thing I do is block 20 people who have said something reprehensible. There is nothing hidden about this. Misogyny is open, wide open. Sexism, wide open. Racism, wide open. Xenophobia, ignorance as a character trait, wide open. But today, an NFL player has made at least one child feel hope. This is good.
We talk all the time about the difficulties of coming out. Is that the positive end of it? What are kind of the joys that Carl Nassib will be experiencing today?
I mean, probably not a huge number of joys that are new, simply because, well, the joys will be the new people who receive it well and who share their story of the impact that his disclosure has had on them. That will be a joy for sure. But people often think that this is kind of this announcement today, now that lots of people know, now he's come out. But he came out before. People knew in his family, in his friend group, they knew. And that's what's going to sustain him. That group of people who are truly authentically connected to him there'll be this additional bonus of a bunch of people who didn't know and didn't imagine it possible, and now have a better sense that someone like them can be rewarded. Even some of this, the joy that'll come with young people especially, will be the watching how well received this information was by lots of people will be affirming for them. So that's brilliant. But coming out in this way is not normal, right? To tell the universe that you are gay is not how it mostly works. Most gay people tell people who they give a damn about and who give a damn about them. And that's how it should be. You shouldn't necessarily have to tell everybody in the universe just randomly. Disclosure is still something, if you're in a workplace, if you're in a school, if you're in wherever, it's something that you should earn. If you are in an environment where you don't know much about the people around you, it is a profound statement about you. You have not earned the right to hear.
I erred in not mentioning earlier in saying that Nassib has donated $100,000 to the Trevor Project. The name of the project is the Trevor Project. What do you know about the work that they do, or work like that is important? Because the specifics of helping young people is at front of mind here. Yeah.
I mean, LGBTQ kids are disproportionately more likely to self-harm or commit suicide. And it isn't because of an intrinsic weakness or brokenness. It's because the world is toxic to them. And so the Trevor Project does an amazing job. I did work with them back in 2005, 6, 7. So even before I came out. And I did some work with them after I came out. But now I'm not really relevant in America, so less so now.
John, always illuminating. Thank you for making the time. I know you are very busy, and I'm sorry to have upset you with that word distraction. I know you heard it a lot of different times during your career while obsessive-compulsively working on your craft and not allowing for any distractions. Thank you, sir.
It's a pleasure. Good to see you all.
I believe you going to the museum was a distraction, wasn't it? You going and...
It was. I was the trustee of the Orlando Museum of Modern Art, and I was called into the office with the coach and the GM, and they both were like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I like art." They said, "Well, what's the time commitment?" I said, "Well, I go to the museum occasionally."
It's a distraction.
Like, look, we need to know that you're going to take this seriously.
I've upset him again. Look at him. See you later, John.
See you.
Well, the ship is a wreck, shit stains the deck as Michael Hollow's fellas make more. And Billy is a worry that he's got the scurvy 'cause Chris ate all the limes in store. Pirate radio with the shipping crew. We got wind in our sails and the sky is blue. There's a devil up our nose, so much work to do for the pirate radio.
Hi, Greg.
Hey. Hi, everybody.
Hello, Gregory.
Good morning.
Who needs me? Trots, Roy.
That game was over after the first period, so
That's what happens.
That's what happens.
The Lightning apparently brought their murder weapons.
They did. Kucherov.
Holy shit!
Guns,
Points, Kucherov.
knives,
Points is amazing.
arrows. They brought everything.
Bullshit. Stamkos score?
Twice.
I did. How many for Kucherov?
I didn't see a
At
goal
least
from him,
two.
though. I didn't see a goal from him.
Points at 1.
Yeah, you managed to sneak that goal in there. Continue his game streak.
We're not good enough to beat them. No one is.
The Lightning fans think that the Panthers are the dirty ones.
That's impossible.
No, I'm serious. They're all like, I saw a friend of mine that was like, we beat the who did they beat in the last round? Carolina. Oh, Carolina were worthy opposition, unlike those dirty Panthers. Like, wow, the shoe was on the other foot in that series, huh? I guess the butcher doesn't work well for opposition, I guess would be my guess.
Not a worthy opposition. We had home ice in the first round. Of course we were worthy. We're a better team this year.
No, I mean like worthy in terms of like, not dirty and,
You know how many boarding calls that went uncalled in the first round?
Don't give me
how many, Roy?
I was there.
About 5.
Wow.
5, huh?
Still talking about those fraud Panthers, Roy.
No, the frauds are the Tampa Bay Lightning. I mean, they're going to win the Stanley Cup, but they're going to do so while cheating.
bullshit.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Salary cap circumventing, man.
I mean-
long-term IR. Like, come on. Kucherov shouldn't be playing. Give me a break.
Stamkos should. It was injury, right?
Yeah, it was injury, yeah.
Yeah, so Kucherov basically was like out for the entire regular season and got like special dispensation to play in the playoffs.
And skated with the team for a month before the playoffs.
No, he was healthy. He could have
He
played.
was completely healthy.
Completely healthy.
He had 3 assists last night.
He's really good.
Yep.
Still, when I turned on the TV and I saw 8-0, I was like, my God.
Nil.
Sometimes it's better safe than sorry with injuries. You know what I mean? And I think that it's showing here. This was the case with the Lightning.
You're really going to do devil's advocate for the Tampa Bay Lightning?
Why do you
I
hate
mean,
me?
He wasn't injured, Bill.
Well, maybe he was.
Well, he was
We don't
injured.
know.
He was injured for some of it, but for the end of it,
Very
I'm not
healthy.
a doctor. Are you?
yes.
Yeah.
When someone is on the ice skating for a month, they're healthy.
Go get McGillicuddy there, Cody.
Yeah, thank you. Blame the league, not the Lightning.
Thank you.
Greg, first off, your post-sickness hair is just a marvel. It
Thank
is
you.
everywhere. And second, your voice actually sounds tremendous.
Wow, how about that?
Yeah, it's got
You
some
do.
extra. Being sick has like a little bit of a silver lining in that your voice has a little bit of bass to it.
I feel like I have a dulcet tone.
You should re-record the Ballad of 1440 with this voice.
I should.
He really should.
It does give you something
I
for
really
singing.
should. I'm going to re-record all my songs like Taylor Swift.
Do you have more than one?
I have 2.
What's the other one?
The Letting Go. I found this interesting. I thought that you would too. Actually, it's
I
you
thought
might
that
too.
you might too. Yeah, you don't even know.
Yeah,
the lyrics to
that's
that song.
how long it's been.
Right.
Since
He
I
was
played
rolling.
it.
He was rolling.
What is that? What is the origins of that song? It's just like you.
A song that he stole.
My late
his
best
late
friend,
best friend. He stole it from him after he passed.
I didn't steal it from him. I recorded it in his home studio, and he was kind enough to let me record it, and I did. And Dan actually played it on the show, played it in its entirety, which was a mind blower because it's like a 5-minute song.
Do you have it over there? You might have it in the library. Did we get that from ESPN?
I believe we did.
Let's see if we
You
can
wrestled that away?
Let's see if we can find
Whoa.
that.
You actually sound like a white Freddie Cruz. You remember Freddie Cruz, Dan?
I do. I love his hair. Not Freddie Cruz's hair. I love Greg Cote's hair. It looks like it is actively trying to get away from him.
It is. It's running off my scalp.
Dad, what's this? Oh, Letting Go is what it's called, Woody.
Mad scientist.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm a little ill today. I apologize for that.
Greg Cote is not in with us today. He's trying to do this via Zoom, and we've got things to talk about. We have legitimate progress, whether it is a gay football player in the NFL, whether it's a Supreme Court justice talking about the NCAA in a way that is long overdue, whether it is Juneteenth, and there are societal things to talk about, but we begin with the most obvious, important thing of the day, which is Brooke Lopez slapped the Nets emblem.
Oh, boy.
Brooke Lopez slapped the emblem, a former Net. And when Big Baby Davis saw Kyrie Irving do that, Kyrie Irving stepped on it. He lost his mind, said that Kyrie Irving better be careful because people might get legitimately hurt. He said then that after Kyrie Irving got legitimately hurt, but not the ways that Big Baby was threatening, he said it was karma. But we have not made the same story out of Brooke Lopez slapping the Nets emblem after ending their season. Why is that?
He stepped on the B, huh?
Actually, that didn't happen. It didn't happen. He didn't step on it. He did it with his hands, but it must have happened in Game 6 because Game 7 was in Milwaukee, and I don't think that there was a Nets emblem in that. So we just missed that entire story. We didn't spend a lot of time on Brooke Lopez doing that. Cody, of these other 3 stories that I mentioned, and when Kavanaugh, Stugotz, eviscerates the NCAA, when that guy specifically sees that something is wrong, it has to be pretty damn obvious.
If he sees the wrong in it, there's something wrong.
And he scorched the NCAA. I will read part of it. To be sure, the NCAA and its member colleges maintain important traditions that have become part of the fabric of America. Game days in Tuscaloosa and South Bend, the packed gyms and stores in Durham, the women's and men's lacrosse championships on Memorial Day weekend, track and field meets in Eugene, the spring softball and baseball World Series in Oklahoma City and Omaha. The list goes on, but those traditions alone cannot justify the NCAA's decision to build a massive money-raising enterprise on the backs of student athletes who are not fairly compensated. Nowhere else in America can businesses get away with agreeing not to pay their workers a fair market rate on the theory that their product is defined by not paying their workers a fair market rate. And under ordinary principles of antitrust law, it is not evident why college sports should be any different. The NCAA is not above the law. You have been someone over the years, Cody, that has argued the wrong side of this. You have argued over the years the wrong side, and now you've got a Supreme Court justice telling you in pretty bold terms that the way that the NCAA does it is literally unjust.
I've been very consistent on the way I feel about this whole topic, which is that if you want to break it down, Trevor Lawrence had a lot to do with his university's success and money making and national stature. The walk-on third team guard does not. So if you talk about the worth of college football players and the value they have for their work, you have to break it down because it's unlike any other sport. In Major League Baseball, the 25th guy, the last guy, the utility player, he does contribute more than the last player of 90 or 105 on a college football roster. So, absolutely top college football players deserve money, and coaches get too much of it, and there needs to be a more equitable pie chart. But how do you determine how much to pay every college football player at all different echelons of their contribution? That's the only sticking point that no one's ever answered satisfactorily to me.
Greg, it's like every other sport, and they'll figure that part out. All of them deserve to be paid, especially, football, basketball, those types. They all deserve to be paid, or at least have the right to use their name and likeness to create income for themselves. And so they'll figure out, the pay structure. And you're right, Trevor Lawrence does deserve more than, the 53rd guy on the roster. But they'll figure that part out. It's like every other sport. They're making billions of dollars off of these kids, and these kids deserve the right to get paid. All of them.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. But again, if it's a non-revenue sport, if it's the bottom of the pecking order, and not to single out rowing, but, you're on the rowing team. You're on a scholarship, so you're getting a free ride. You're the least valuable player on your rowing team. Do you really deserve money on top of that scholarship? I'm just asking the question.
The interesting thing is that you guys singled out Kavanaugh for his politics, but actually the fact that he is a conservative on the court, it kind of is in keeping with this conversation. He's talking about the free market. That is a very conservative kind of point of view politically, right? So basically all he's saying to your question, Greg, is whatever that rower is worth, whatever that football player is worth. This is a business. Treat it like you would any other business where there are people on the bottom end and there are people on the top end. There's Trevor Lawrence and then there's the 90th guy on Akron's football team, right? And you treat them as if it is a financial market, which it very much is.
He wrote, price-fixing labor is price-fixing labor, and price-fixing labor is ordinarily a textbook antitrust problem because it extinguishes the free market in which individuals can otherwise obtain fair compensation for their work. Yes, Jessica?
I just think we're not celebrating this momentous occasion, which is that we have a thing that everyone agrees on. Like, all 9 justices agree that the NCAA is wrong. And it's basically brought together both sides of an extremely divided political spectrum, whether it's on the name, image, and likeness or on this antitrust case. But this is amazing. We've all been wondering, what is something that can bring America together? And now we have it. It's considering the NCAA wrong and bad and outdated. This is amazing. We should be celebrating.
Okay, here's where I just tap the brakes a little bit on amazing and celebrating, because the three things that I mentioned as progress are so obviously long overdue that it becomes stupid, right? The idea that a gay football player, the idea that in football we're sitting here wondering about who a football player is having sex with as if it is something that matters. The idea that we're still talking about the stupidity of a rule book in the NCAA that shares the money when the rule book was made before the TV dollars made an appearance. The idea on Juneteenth that we are celebrating a national holiday with Bed Bath & Beyond sending me coupons to celebrate the days years late that the news got to Texas, that the slaves have been liberated while we're enacting voting laws that continue to be obscene. These are forms of progress, and they are symbols, and they are worth celebrating, but I tap the brakes on the applause just because these things are so incredibly overdue, and these steps being taken in 2021 are so tiny, even as they feel large and are worth celebrating.
We all know that, though, right? We all know they're long overdue. I think most people acknowledge and realize that. They should still, I'm with Jess, and I understand what you're saying, Dan. They should still be celebrated because, yeah, it took us a long time to get here, but we're getting there, right?
I mean, Stugotz, it depends on whether you're black or not. Are we getting there? Yeah, congratulations. You got a day off on Juneteenth, and we're still fighting in Georgia about whether you can vote correctly. Yeah, there's small progress. There's people still fighting all over the place about, Nassib's life might find itself in arenas where it is getting a lot of applause publicly, and in the shadows, you still have all the people cloaked in religion and hatred and doubt who are going to come after him and make his life harder than it was the day before yesterday.
Well, I don't think we can pat ourselves on the back for any of this. I think that it's just, in terms of the NCAA decision, this is how it works in the American court system. It takes years for a challenge to make its way to the Supreme Court. And I think that it's great that it finally got there. And in 2021, everyone agrees the NCAA model of amateurism being the defining definition of the league itself, the governing body itself, is that doesn't work in any other sphere. So why should it work in the NCAA and with college athletics?
And it's only ever overdue if it is the consensus of both political parties or of people in America, right? The two most notable things that have changed in my lifetime that were kind of off-debated issues were marijuana and gay marriage that have been overturned. And it took a growing, year-by-year incremental growth in the public opinion on that. And I think college athletes getting paid kind of reached a critical mass. I really don't know when. I mean, it might be there were so many scandals and we just kind of all became sick of the issue. And it's all right, well, if everyone's doing it anyway, we might as well do it legally. But either way, the tides have turned on this issue, and the hope is all these other issues that you're talking about, the tides will eventually turn on them, but it only can when it's a consensus of kind of two elements. One, the element that we talked about, the free market element, but also a cultural one, because the conservative argument against college athletes getting paid was a cultural one on the basis of, frankly, race, but also on, I want to preserve this thing that I love.
You say cultural, and I do think something that is worth applauding today is generational. I do believe that the two issues that you mentioned, marijuana and sexuality, are two things that come from young people being a less repressed group of people. And it does make me hopeful in the football locker room that that's the generation that is playing football, that generation is less repressed than the one that came before it.
And again, I'm just strictly talking about the NCAA Supreme Court decision, but I think that, to your point, Woody, the tides changed when, in the last 10 years, the television contracts for college athletics blew up and inflated way past what they were in the 90s and the early 2000s. I think that this could have still happened had that not occurred, but there was a big difference in the way the sport was making money in 2005 versus how it is in 2021, and with the college football playoff and all of the TV rights deals. I think that really accelerated this into the Supreme Court and into the, people kind of having a consensus that, yeah, it's not fair that Dabo Swinney makes this much millions of dollars per year and Clemson makes millions of dollars per year, but Trevor Lawrence makes $0 and he's not allowed to make any money.
What is the chat argument that has broken out as this serious societal discussion has happened? It has been instigated by Chris Cody.
We're just interested in these coupons you got.
They never expire, these coupons, by the way. Don't fall for that date you see on there.
Yeah. Where'd you get these coops, Dan, by the way? Because you seem anti-coupon, which is a strange thing. But where'd you get them? Because none of us seem to get these coupons.
Yeah.
For all of your yammering, Billy, the place that you decided to be more efficient is cutting a syllable off the word coupons to call them coops. To call them coops. I got emailed a Bed Bath & Beyond Happy Juneteenth promotion that was 20% off. I got
20%?
Wow.
Yes.
Have you ever used a coupon or a coop?
Yeah, when's the last time you used a coop?
I'm not really a coop user.
Really?
User.
Wow.
What do you mean they never expire, Chris?
Don't say that out loud, though. It's one of those secrets of the trade.
They do actually expire. You look at these coupons, it will say expires whenever. They don't. You take them to Bed Bath & Beyond, you just use them. They take any coupon that's ever been made. Well, trick of the trade right there.
Billy, you were of the opinion when this conversation made an appearance that Bed Bath & Beyond was no longer. It had gone to the great Bed Bath & Beyond.
Well, the Bed Bath & Beyond by where, I take my dog to get a bath and a haircut did close. So I thought, hey, they must all be closing, right? But I guess not because they're sending coupons. So that's exciting. Good for them. Good for Bed Bath & Beyond.
I had no idea. Wait a minute. Did you you take your dog to get groomed?
Yeah, dogs get groomed, Dan, just like humans.
I understand they get groomed. I did not know Bed Bath & Beyond did that. I thought they sold bathware. I did not know you could get a bath for your dog
I
there.
don't think he takes the dog there.
No, I'd take the dog next door to Petco or PetSmart or Pet whatever it is next door.
Not
Who uses the phrase bathware?
Right.
Am I the only one that after watching Click
Yes.
really wanted to one time take a nap in a Bed Bath & Beyond? It just, you walk by those beds, it just looks like it'd be a nice experience. Of all the department stores, what would you most want to take a nap in?
Guillermo, put it on the poll.
Mattress store.
No, that's where everyone's going to be sleeping.
I agree.
That's where everyone will be sleeping.
Yeah, I think the mattress store is too obvious. Everyone wants to take a nap in a mattress store, right? And also, like, you're getting in the way of people doing their thing. Whereas, like, you go to like the second floor of the Macy's at the Aventura Mall, and there are all these beds there. Everyone's really there for clothes and for all the other stuff that Macy's has to offer. But you can sneak away and catch a nap, and no one might even notice.
I just feel like Chris Cody is the type of person to go to Home Depot and take a shit in like one of the model toilets.
I'll sit on it. I'm not going to actually take a sit.
Man.
You got to try it out for comfort.
Shit.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll sit on it.
Exactly.
Test it out.
Put it on the poll, please.
This one doesn't flush.
At Le Batard Show. Do you want a nap in Bed Bath & Beyond?
Oh,
that's obvious.
Yeah.
Does Chris Cody look like he would take a shit in one of the model toilets at Bed Bath & Beyond? Was that a laugh cough? Greg Cody's not feeling well. I don't know how long he's going to last today. Greg Cody, are you a coupon user? When's the last time you used a coupon?
I am the opposite of a coupon user, and there's little in life that's more annoying than being in line at the grocery store behind the coupon freak. I don't mean the person using a single coupon to get 40 cents off a can of coffee. I mean the person who has a coupon booklet, who is a professional coupon user, who's literally going to hold up the line for 10 minutes while all of her coupons are processed.
Or
and
his.
I don't mean to be sexist there,
Or
but
his.
generally...
His coupons. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Guillermo, put it on the poll, please. Is there anything more annoying than being in line behind the coupon freak at Le Batard Show? I'm stunned to hear you say that, Greg, because I know you to be a very cheap man.
Yeah, that's the stereotype that you keep promoting, but I'm actually a very generous man. But, you know, I'm almost moved to the point where I will pay the woman in front of me, the person in front of me, the money that her coupon is worth just to expedite the process.
There's no way you do that.
Will
I'm
you
sorry.
please do the pronoun game better than this? Will you please stop making it a woman? And also, ass crack, call your mom. I want to ask her if your father is cheap because he keeps denying this. Oh, those are put that on the board. Those are 3 coughs that are not laugh related. I don't think they're laugh related. Let's call Erlene and find out whether she thinks her husband is cheap.
You've known Greg. Greg, you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Stu.
All right.
I'm great.
All right, just checking on you. You've known Greg for a while now, Dan. Do you imagine Greg being the type of person that would just give someone, hey, here's $20, get the hell out of my line? No.
Yes, for sure.
No way, Greg.
Oh, absolutely. Well, 10 maybe, 5. 5 for sure. Probably not 20.
Can you do that? I want you to do this the next time you're at Publix.
Yes.
You're behind someone who is using a lot of coupons, which, by the way, I don't see anymore. I haven't been behind someone who is abusing the
They're
coupons
automatic
for a long
in
time.
the system now for the most part.
Right. I mean, like, for the most part, all the BOGOs and the discounts are just already on the aisles already. They're just marked. You don't need coupons anymore. But Greg, I would like for the next time to record when you're behind someone who is abusing coupons. Record
I will do
yourself
that.
giving them $10.
Right, there's no way.
Okay. I'll absolutely do that.
Cortez.
That's a good idea, actually. Yeah, I will. Thank you.
Cortez put a great thing in the chat. Sharper image, great place to take a nap.
Oh,
the massage chairs,
the best thing ever.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Even though
Horrible form.
58 people sit in those chairs a day.
No, you
But
get
don't think
like
about
2
that.
minutes on that, and then you need to keep it moving. I hate the person at the Sharper image that spends 45 minutes in a massage chair. That's not the point of that. Also, you're never going to buy that chair, so why are you even sitting in it?
What about have you ever seen the people who gets a regular massage? You ever have at the mall, you walk by the massage people? There are always people there getting the massage. Who gets a massage when people are just walking by in a mall? Such an odd place for a massage.
Put it on the poll, please. Who gets a massage
In a
the
mall.
mall
Yeah.
when people are walking by? Yes or no? Also put on the poll, do you hate the person in the massage chair at the Sharper image?
But Chris, is your point here that you don't want to get a massage while around other people? Because I feel like it's there for people who didn't realize that they needed a massage. It's like, you know what would be good for right now? A massage.
I just don't like the pressure that you feel when you walk by and they don't have someone in their chair. They always are like, hey, look at this chair. It's right here. I'm just like, I don't make eye contact. I feel really uncomfortable in those spots because I'll just say yes if I really get pinned down.
How do you feel about a blackjack massage?
Oh, that's terrible.
When you sat at the chair?
Terrible. How dare you?
Yeah.
Terrible. What do you mean terrible? What's terrible about a blackjack massage?
Listen, when I have a 16 and the dealer has a 6 and I decide to hit at the end of the table, I need max concentration. Okay?
Yes.
I don't need anyone's
Distracting.
hands on my back. Okay?
Put it on the poll, Guillermo. Do you like a blackjack massage? Also, Billy, why were you rubbing your hands together when the coupon conversation made an appearance? You were very excited. You were made very happy. I don't know what it is that made you so happy.
Oh, what he said, BOGO. I love a good BOGO. Sometimes I just walk up and down the aisles at the grocery store and see what's on BOGO. And if I need it, I get 2 of them. And if I don't, I get it anyways. That's the way the BOGO works.
Yeah.
You guys don't have a coupon drawer at home? I use some coupons so frequently that I already know the code on the coupon. And I'll just tell it to the person when they'll say, what's the number on the coupon? And I just have it in my brain from memory, and I just tell it to them. And sometimes, spoiler alert, I don't have the coupon. I just know the coupon code, and I know, guess what? $5 Whopper instead of $8 Whopper. Burger King.
I have a
8960.
question. Where do you guys get coupons? I haven't seen a coupon in years.
I used to love a good coupon book. Oh, it was great.
It's such a good question, Jessica, because they're not in newspapers anymore. They held afloat Greg Cody in my industry for so long. People so often were getting that Sunday paper because it was a treasure chest of gold. It was so many
It really
savings.
was.
It was so many savings. Housewives and men throughout America were cutting coupons and going to the grocery store with them.
When I was working at Publix 10 years ago, that was the main appeal of buying the newspaper on Sunday. There were so many people that showed up with the Miami Herald because they wanted to then get the coupons for the remainder of the week. I can't imagine that still is an appeal of the newspaper business which is probably a bad thing because it used to be the classifieds, then it was the coupons, and now what do you got?
Now it's just Greg Cote.
Now it's Greg Cote.
Writing a column in his underwear.
Damn right.
Well, Publix has a cheat code. Now Publix, when you walk in, just has the coupons right in the entrance, right? So they have 2 coupon books. Guys, if you go to Publix, you need to be big, very close attention. They have 2. They have the weekly sales, Wednesday to Tuesday. Each Wednesday is the new one. And then they have the manufacturer coupons. Those are the ones that you need to turn in when you find it. So like if you're going to buy Visine, you get $1 off Visine. That's not a Publix coupon. That's a manufacturer coupon that you need to give them separately, or you're not going to get the $1 off of Visine. Just an example. I'm not saying Visine is on sale, so don't rush to Publix now. Another way you get coupons, Jess, since you were asking, emails, lots of coupons. Sometimes I go to the mailbox. There's just a ton of coupons in the mailbox. I don't know who the coupon fairy is that puts them there, but coupons get delivered to my house sometimes. I go through it. It's usually groceries. Now, apps also. Apps, tons of coupons in apps. But you have to get the apps for the particular places you go to, which brings me to my next idea. I was thinking about this yesterday when you guys were talking about apps.
Oh, Lord.
I have an idea for an app, if you'd like to indulge me. Thank you, Dan. The app is called The App. And this app has every app in it. See? So then you don't need to download all the other individual apps.
Wow.
You just have the app. And then you want to go to Burger King and get some coupons, you just go to the app, type in Burger King, boom, they pop up. You want to go to the Home Depot, just type in boom, boom, Home Depot. There it is in the app. Everything's in the app. Dan, you like Olive Garden? You want to go to the Olive Garden? Boom, you just put it in there, in the app. Anything you want, it's in the app. Mattress Giant, in the app. Everything's there.
I just feel like when I was younger, like coupons sought me out. And now what Billy's saying is like, you have to seek them out.
Can we agree on the pronunciation of coupon or coupon?
Coupon.
Coupon.
I'm going for coupon.
You say Groupon?
Coupon.
Coupon.
Put it on the poll, Guillermo, at Le Batard Show. Coupon or coupon?
Do you like the idea of the app?
It's a terrible idea, but what I do want to pursue, though, what I want to absolutely pursue, because I really feel like it's glossed over here, is I don't know, maybe the rest of you were aware of this. I had no idea that this would be the Billy Gill wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Coupons? I did not know. No, I did not know that his level of enthusiasm was memorizing codes. You guys knew that he suckers Burger King by not having coupons on him, and he's just got memorized codes.
He loves a deal.
Let's not say that too loud, because now they're going to change the code, and then I need to remember another one, not just 8960. I have a coupon drawer. Do you guys not have coupon drawers anymore? Is that not a thing that's still going on? My wife hates this about me.
Can we go through it right now?
It should.
Let me go get the coupons.
Yes,
Very exciting.
This is very exciting. I'm rubbing my hands together. He's got.
Now we know what Billy was.
Am I the only one here? Because I don't think I've ever seen him this happy. I was at his wedding, maybe that day. I wasn't there for the birth of Mia, but like he is super enthusiastic because he is. The rest of us are like, where do you get coupons? And all of us are judging coupons, and he is leaning into, no, I'm coupon man. I want to know where the coupon fairy is that delivers coupons to my mailbox.
Yeah, he loves a deal. Billy's always been a guy who loves a good deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but like we all love a good deal, right? Like I'm a sucker for a sale. It's just like the physical, like magazine coupons. Like when I was little, there used to be coupons all over the house. We had a coupon drawer too, but now I haven't seen one in years.
You want a good deal, though, Jess. Sometimes you got to work very hard for it. That's the deal.
Chris Cody, please put it on the poll because Billy's hands are full. Are you a sucker for a sale? At Le Batard Show. What is this delight? What are these trinkets that you have brought our way here, Billy? Did you empty the coupon drawer? What is it that you have in your hands?
Yeah, I did. I went and I got a select number of these coupons that they've sent. So just go through them really quick. The problem with coupons, Dan, as Chris kind of pointed out, they expire, right? So when you put something in the coupon drawer, you don't know that it's going to expire soon, so you don't do it. So this one is a page right here from Checkers and Rallies. This was sent to my house, and I saved this one. I haven't used any of these yet, but I may. This expire on July 12th. So, look, right here, BOGO. Buy one, get one 50% off. Chicken bites and fries box. So that's a good one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot in this drawer? I don't know how the rest of you guys are. How many of you, if you order delivery and there are sauces, you just put them in your fridge?
Depends on the sauce.
Oh, yeah,
the possibility.
All the time, yeah.
But
I
even
have like
if you-
74 packets
But even
of
if
soy
you don't
sauce.
have, but you throw those out eventually, right? Like that.
Eventually,
Duck
well,
sauce.
you use them, yeah.
Duck sauce is
yeah,
the best
duck
thing to
sauce,
save, yeah.
soy sauce, Chick-fil-A sauce.
So, Billy, as it regards coupons, do you have, like, what percentage are used and not used? Do you have a lot in there that you just put away, but you know you're never probably going to ever use it?
I'd say maybe 2% of the coupons I save are used. Maybe 2%.
No wonder your wife hates this.
Yeah. See, like right here, this is when the baby was born. I saw these baby things, and I said, I don't know what a baby needs, so I just started saving baby coupons. Desitin, that's like for diaper rash, and this is Johnson & Johnson for babies. This expired June 5th. Now, I could get rid of it, but I don't know that I want to get rid of it yet. Now, here's another one, Smoothie King. Ever heard of that?
Oh,
Smoothie
yeah.
King. Buy 3 enhancers, get free with a smoothie. What does that mean? I don't know, but I saved it because I thought, you know what? Maybe I'll go to Smoothie King. So here it is. And this one doesn't have a date on it. So that's a good coupon to have.
Nice.
Oh, wait, no, expires July 1st. So we're still good. I have a couple days to use that one. Look, Breyers, guys. Breyers. Save 50 cents on any one Breyers product. This one also expired on June 5th, so I may want to get rid of that one. But
That was a cough.
Yes, he's turned off his mic a couple of times to cough here. The cough meter, I believe we're in double digits now because he's turned off his microphone. I don't think the ones that we can't hear should be held against him. 2% you use, and your wife's commentary on this is exactly what? Does she find it in any way endearing, or does she think you're strange?
Oh, no, she thinks I'm strange. She tries to throw my coupons away right away. That's why I have a secret coupon drawer that she hasn't found yet. Now that we're talking about it, she may go looking for it. But the thing with throwing away coupons is I feel like I'm throwing away money. Like this one right here that I cut out. Save $4 on Zyrtec. Have you ever bought Zyrtec? It's pretty expensive, Zyrtec.
Yeah,
It's a good one.
Yep.
It is a good one.
Yeah.
I didn't use it. It expired on June 6th, so I wasted $4. I basically lit $4 on fire. Now, you'll like this one.
Wait, did you buy Zyrtec, though?
No, I didn't.
Well,
I
then
didn't buy
you
Zyrtec.
saved I don't know.
I love that it's a secret drawer.
Save $30.
Look at this one. This one's been used, as you can see. There's some cut out. This one's for Burger King.
Oh, wow. You love Burger King.
How much time do you spend at Burger King?
2%. 2%. All
life.
the 2% are Burger Kings. All of
Well,
them.
here's the thing about the Burger King, the ones that are cut out, and I'll tell you why these are cut out. Because when I go to Burger King, I know the promo codes, right? But if like my wife's going and she's like, hey, do you want anything when we're out? I'm saying, hey, can you get me some Burger King? She'll say yes. And I'll say, you know what? Let me give you the coupon because you don't know 8960 gets you $4 or gets you a $5 Whopper meal, which I need to stop saying because they're really going to change that code on me and I don't want to learn another one. So look, here's another one, Dan. This one's for Wendy's. Ever been to Wendy's? This expired June 27th. And then this is one of the ones, look, this is what you got to look for. Extra savings here. This is the one that you look for when you go into Publix. These are the manufacturer coupons. So like here, for example, buy one, get one free Prego sauce. I didn't use it, but I could have, and I could have gotten a free Prego sauce. That expired June 4th. So this one could probably go. The coupon drawer could probably be empty. Look, here's an example of one that was sent to my house that I wasn't seeking out. This is from Welcome to Ring-a-Bell Farms. I've never heard of Ring-a-Bell Farms, but look at this. You can buy trees for sale, $25 for this tree, installation $10. So all of these things, trees are on sale. I decided to save this in case I wanted to buy some trees one day. So good to have.
So Billy, you go to the cashier's door at Burger King and tell them 8960.
Well, no, Burger King's a different animal. Burger King and McDonald's play by different rules. So Burger King, you got to tell them when you're ordering, I have a coupon, or they get very mad once you get to the drive-thru and you try to present them the coupon. So you got to let them know in advance. McDonald's, don't get me started on them. They have an app. Their coupons, McDonald's, you could do a little bit better with the coupons in the app, if I'm going to be honest with you. But you tell them when you're ordering, hey, I have this coupon for whatever. They're like, okay, perfect, come use it. And then you go to pay, and you're like, I'd like to use the coupon. You're like, well, you didn't tell me. It's like, well, I told you over there. And it's like, McDonald's has this whole system where different people are taking your order, and then they're in the drive-thru. So you need to tell 30 people at McDonald's. So McDonald's and coupons for me don't mix sometimes. So sometimes I just bite the bullet on that one. I pay full price when I have to.
Jessica has dismissed you as a hoarder. She says...
Hoarder?
I mean, you have like a lot of stuff that you don't use, but you're kind of keeping it around because you have some value in it that might be a little bit misplaced. Like the coupons are a little expired. You don't actually need Zyrtec. It's, it's kind of
Never know when you need Zyrtec.
Exactly. You don't need the Zyrtec. Let me ask you something. Did you use an umbrella today? Do you own an umbrella? Hoarder?
Yes.
Well, did you use it today?
That's not the same thing.
Oh, because you saved the umbrella for a rainy day, but I can't save coupons for a rainy day. I get it.
But umbrellas don't expire, Billy.
They do if you use them right.
They do if you use them wrong.
I can't believe you guys don't use coupons. You're just like wasting money, huh?
I mean, you're not
Billy, you're not using yours.
You got,
What are you talking about? Look at this one. It's been cut 3
Except
times.
for Burger
a
King.
bunch of expired coupons. You've got a bunch of things that are totally worthless there.
When I reach out to ring a bell trees, I'm going to get the last laugh, just so you know.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
You okay?
Oh,
shoot.
Mute yourself, man.
Greg. And
Now you're muted.
Himself to
Now
talk.
you're muted.
Sorry, I
Greg,
muted incorrectly.
You
there.
emerged from that cough like the guy in Airplane that sniffs glue.
Lloyd Bridges?
He just like has like his face is all discombobulated and his hair is everywhere.
What a great scene. What a great movie. Lloyd Bridges, right?
Yeah.
He's buried near me. He's in the same cemetery as my mother-in-law.
You're not buried.
near you,
That
then.
was noteworthy.
Well, I mean, I'm not buried yet, but I mean, he's buried in a cemetery near me.
Close.
Right near my mother-in-law.
Where are you going to be buried? Do you have that set up? You're going to be next to your mother-in-law?
No, God, no. I would imagine my wife will incinerate me.
Really?
Yeah. I'll be in an urn. I earned it.
Greg, you wearing a Greg Cote Show with Greg Cote shirt?
Oh, this?
Yeah. Little promotion.
I happen to order 1,000 Greg Cote Show decals. So now
Greg,
there's
I
only
want
9.
one.
Yeah, you can have one, Jessica.
He's used them all already.
I'll bring them in next time I'm in the studio. I'll bring them in and fan them out like cash.
How many do you have?
1,000. But there's a controversy there. I ordered 4-inch by 4-inch, and the workmanship is great, but they're actually 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches.
Oh, wow.
So I'm feeling a little shortchanged. But
Did you call a manager?
The quality's good. No, I haven't. I don't worry about that.
Are you hoping the youths take these decals and put them on stop signs and the like?
I don't know why I ordered them, how I'm going to disseminate them, nothing. I ordered them online, and it was just without a plan, without a method.
How hammered were you?
I wasn't, actually. And now there's a big, giant box of them. It arrived in the mail. Like a box
Oh, can we
of-
see them? I
Ooh,
want to see
wow.
one. I want a
A box
sneak
of them.
peek. Yeah. Very exciting.
You open boxes weird, huh?
Wow,
Yeah, I
those are
do
nice,
open boxes
Greg.
weird.
Stickers, nice. Okay, Greg, we are live on YouTube now, so don't do anything dumb. We have been live for a little bit. Before we get you out of here, because you are not feeling well, I need to get to your song that we talked about earlier so that everyone can enjoy that again. We wrestled that away from ESPN. We also need to get to your Back in My Day. We have reached out to your wife to see if she will confirm that you are indeed cheap. We will wait for you to stop coughing there. Let's give him some filibuster to gather himself for his Back in My Day by simply playing some of that song. I don't think we're going to want to play all 5 minutes. Go ahead. The song that was stolen from a now dead friend who is not buried near him.
This interesting. I thought that you might too. There's good friends and good women. Sometimes both won't do. When you're as drunk as you can get, high as you can be, hang out at the 7-Eleven to be a Mr. Love. You never know. I've been smoking, I've been drinking to kill the misery at the hands of one woman who's as evil as can be. She's got the diamond ring touch. She's talking like a baby. She's a whisper and a grin. She take advantage of me. She's telling me, yo, there's a time for letting go.
Is there a chorus?
Why should I be waiting here?
Look how happy Greg is. Just look at him. Look at his face.
I haven't heard the song in years.
Do you know if we played all 5 minutes because I was lashing out at ESPN? Like, why did we play all 5 minutes of that song? Do you remember?
I don't remember, but I was astonished because I expected it to be like the first 30 seconds or something. And it's a long song. It's a 5-minute song.
All right, he is not feeling well, so we need to get him out of here. But let's go ahead and get his Back in My Day before we get rid of him. Billy enjoyed the song. Look how happy the coupon man is. Look at him. Look at
Good song.
2 peas.
I don't want to say I'm glad your friend died, but we got that out of it, right?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Jesus, I don't think that is what we want to do there. Is your friend's a martyr on behalf of good music? Is that what you're arguing? Anyways, let's do Back in My Day.
And now, it is time to take a trip down memory lane. Here's your guide, Greg Cote, with Back in My Day.
Phone books.
Oof.
A running theme of my little observations here seems to be that I tend to miss things most others don't miss. Not only don't miss, but say good riddance to. I think the good old phone book, a.k.a. the telephone directory or the white pages and yellow pages, fits that category. To pass fond laments, I apologize for my voice here. To pass fond laments over the disappearance of phone booths, rotary dial phones, and telephone operators, we can now add their compadre, the phone book, on the sad march to oblivion as more and more once vital pieces of Americana lapse into memory and dust. Ah, the phone book. Whether it was thin as a magazine from some one-stop-like town or the tome from Manhattan, think as a Gutenberg Bible, phone books connected us all. They were tangible proof we existed at all. I remember a new phone book would thud onto the doorstep at 1440 every year, and I'd rush to it as if it were a Christmas present to be opened. Dove right to the C's to see what page our family was on and how many other Codys there might be. Maybe distant, unknown kinfolk just a mile away. I'd go on vacation or travel on the Miami Herald dime, back when newspapers had a dime, and the first thing I'd do in the hotel room was find the ubiquitous phone book. I'd imagine I lived in that city and locate where my name would have been. Sure enough, in my mind, there it was, right between George Costanzo and Stan Kowaleski. I recall that chill that danced up my spine the first time I found myself in Montreal and discovered that Cody, or Cote, was as common there as Johnson or Smith. Oddly, 1,600 miles away, I felt home. These are the small joys we miss without phone books. An increasing number of cities, including Seattle and San Francisco, have sought to ban their unsolicited distribution as unwanted, as a crime against the environment.
This is painful.
All right, hold on. I'm sorry.
Great.
I'm sorry to do this to you, Greg, but your son is convulsing. He is spasming. He wants you to have a drink of water or help your throat or do something. He seems like he's filled with great concern, horror, and disgust, and there seems to be a little shame mixed in there. So I just want you to be okay. Go ahead and pick it up now. Let's see if your voice is in better shape. It appears to be in tatters.
As a crime against the environment. And Alex Bell wept, spinning in his grave as the rotary dial once spun on kitchen walls. The death of the retail store also has hurried the phone book's move to extinction. The phone company had an ad campaign for its yellow and white pages that debuted in 1962 and ran into the 80s. Let your fingers do the walking. Who needs to let their fingers do the walking nowadays when there's no store to walk to, when any address or phone number is a click away, and when the Amazon man will walk whatever you need right to your door? With landlines disappearing and the paper phone book going, gone, efforts to replace it with a cellular directory have met steady opposition on several fronts, led by folks seeking relief from telemarketers. Bell invented the phone in 1876. Less than 2 years later came the advent of directories, the first phone book printed in New Haven, Connecticut. Well, it was a decent run, almost 150 years. By the way, in any hotel room I check into, to this day, right after my beeline to the fridge to see if there's beer in it, the first thing I do is look for the piece of my past no longer there. I'm Greg Cote.
Yes.
That's how it was back in my
courageous effort.
Good effort. Yes, heroic. We will let you go on that note. Very quickly, the Greg Cote podcast featuring Greg Cote is rocketing up the charts. Chris Bosch in the latest edition. He was delighted the other day. He sent me a text. He was so happy because someone in the grocery store recognized him. And, well, that part made him happy. And then just asked him about, not his podcast, but Brockmire. And he was just delighted that someone had recognized him. Look at him. Look, he's beaming right now. He is radiant. Did that person worry for your health the way we do? Because you look an uncommon kind of haggard right now.
No, this, whatever has befallen me came on so quickly. At this time yesterday, I was feeling fine, but it's hit me like a ton of bricks, as the saying goes. And my voice in particular sounds awful, but thank you for your concern.
Greg, you were upset, though, right? The person who recognized you, them not talking about your podcast, that upset you, right?
Yeah, particularly because my podcast had a very good debut on the charts yesterday, thanks to Chris Bosch and the lure of him, I suppose. But Brockmire's a great podcast, don't get me wrong.
Greg, we are seeking your wife to find out if you are indeed cheap. If we find her, we will get you back on the Zoom, but we will let you go.
Yeah, she's not responding to me. She must be working or something
Yes.
crazy. But
Okay.
the Greg Cote Show actually picked up a new sponsor this week. It's something that we had talked about on this show, and we wanted to play the ad on this show.
Hey, cool cats, tired of suffering from prolonged virginity? Want to attract the kittens like a fancy lad? Well, a little dab will do you, and two will do you double. Brylcreem. Guys, put your hands on your tube and squeeze. Brylcreem. Dabbing it.
Brylcreem. Brylcreem. What's the matter to you? Fancy lad must always look so debonair. Brylcream. A little dab of the Brylcream. What's the matter to you? All the ladies love a lad with Brylcream.
Oh, body, yes!
I apologize for that.
You don't.
Here's a story for you. So yesterday, so I'm in a picks pool for the Euros. And so the punishment is at the end of every match day, the person who finished bottom has to do a drink of the team that finished with the lowest goal difference in that round. Now, I was the loser in match day one. The team with the lowest goal difference was Turkey. So I had to go to, there's a restaurant on 5th in Washington called Babylon.
The Turkish restaurant.
Yeah, the Turkish restaurant. And I had to have raka, is how I learned it is pronounced. R-A-K-I, raka. And it is it's a thimble full of this clear liquid. And the way that it's consumed is you pour water over it, and it foams and becomes like this milky white color. What generally, what you don't want when you have a drink is a chemical reaction. Generally not what I want. And I had a full pack of sour Skittles just to try and wash the taste out of my mouth. A full thing of Tic Tacs mouthwash. I still burp up raka 24 hours later. I had this at 3 in the afternoon. My day was ruined.
That place.
By one drink.
How about that place? Tell me more about walking into that place, because I believe that at any given point you will walk into that place and there will be sitting there someone who runs a very, very violent crime family.
Yes, there was like one bald guy with his wife who was going to town on a basket of bread and was just absolutely unleashing on this basket of bread. I had myself a lamb kebab. What I tried to do was I was trying to get like a base. I ate a full basket of bread by myself, a full bottle of water, a kebab. I did everything to try and have this raka go down
For
okay.
a shot of alcohol?
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I took
Jesus.
one whiff of it, and it was foul. Now, I didn't get drunk, thank God. But, like, it was just the taste. The taste was...
Oh, took a shot.
It was off of one shot.
No, it was 55% alcohol by volume, and it was like an entire
by volume.
It was an entire it was like a taller glass, and so
the volume is 1 tablespoon. It doesn't matter if it's
but no, there was a lot in there.
It was a thimble.
No, okay, but then it gets mixed up and it ferments. I don't know. I was just trying not to get drunk at 3:00 on a Monday. Leave me alone, okay? And then
sour Skittles and a rack of lamb.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
it's an odd combo.
I did everything I could, and I still taste it. It is the most disgusting thing that I've ever had. And so at this restaurant, I go to the waitress because I'm like, I'm here to do this as a punishment, and she goes, "Oh, I'm Turkish. This is our national drink. I love this." And I'm like, I'm banging, "Oh, this is disgusting. Who would ever drink this?" And she was personally offended because this is the drink of her country.
Yeah, you definitely offended that woman.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
It's this website says, you said it's Raka?
Yeah, Raka.
Raka, otherwise known as lion's milk.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's serious business in Turkey.
It looks like milk because it starts as a clear liquid. You pour water over it, and it ends up looking like milk.
How do you milk a lion?
Who do you think the first person to milk a lion was?
Whoever that was a brave man.
Very carefully is such a good answer.
Someone with very dry cereal, and all they had around was a lion, and they were like, "We gotta figure out how to moisten the cereal."
You know, I was reading about expanding enlarged hearts in Israel as a result of some of these vaccines, and I was like, my chest is feeling a little bit off.
Billy.
Wait, expanding what?
There's enlarged hearts happening. People that got the Pfizer one in Israel.
Interesting.
I think it's a very rare side effect.
I was like 250 something out of 5 million. But I was like, I got Pfizer, and my heart's feeling a little something. So then, of course, I started Googling what are the signs of an enlarged heart, and should I be making an appointment to go see a doctor now? And I thought, you know what? YOLO. What am I going to do?
Oh, come on, man.
Has anyone ever turned YOLO on its head and really decided, well, if you do only live once, then why don't you try and preserve every bit of life? Like, you should go to the doctor because you only live once, and you want to make sure that you prolong it as long as possible.
Woody.
So what if YOLO is actually a cautious thing?
And not... How many deaths do you think YOLO has led to?
A lot,
Tens
probably.
of thousands, I'd say.
Especially down here.
When
Tens
really?
of thousands.
Tens of
Yeah.
thousands.
Oh, easily.
There's
Wow.
7 billion of us. There's probably at least 10,000 people who have decided, you know what? As a result of only living once, I'm going to give this a go and have died as a result.
Yeah, like taking a selfie in front of the Grand Canyon, falling in, that type of thing.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's a great picture, though.
So can you sue Drake for damages for popularizing YOLO?
What was it Drake's doing?
I love.
Well, it was trademarked before the song, but Drake kind of like made YOLO a thing.
I love using it in the opposite context. It's like YOLO, man.
Yeah, you only live once. Got to go to the doctor.
Put it on the poll, Guillermo. Has YOLO been responsible for tens of thousands of deaths?
That is an absurd number just to throw
It's
out.
unbelievable.
Not really.
It's staggering that they think that YOLO has resulted in more deaths than like
That number's
Vietnam
low, probably
War.
too.
No, but you know how like every year, the Sun Sentinel puts out like a piece that's here's everything we found in someone's rectum in the last year. Really?
Like light bulbs.
There's
They do that?
There's like a database of things that people have found in people's rectums.
Pins.
And it's, people have decided that they're going to get a little kinky, And I feel like that's only something that you do if you have thrown caution to the wind.
Computer mice.
Put that on the poll, Guillermo. Is putting items in your rectum something you only do if you've thrown caution?
I love that he uses kinky and caution to the wind.
If you've thrown caution to the wind.
I mean, the logical leap you just made there from YOLO killing tens of thousands of people to this very strange newspaper series that many of us have never heard of. Yeah, that was a strange one.
Don't judge fancy.
I'm not
freak.
kink shaming. I'm not.
You are a little bit. You are. You're kink
I'm witty
shaming
shaming.
the fancy freak.
All right, so this is from a Deadspin story in 2018. This is the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission's database of emergency room visits. So these are all the things that people have found in various body parts. It goes.
We all have to pick one item here that we would do.
Yeah, ear, nose,
No, we
throat.
don't. We don't actually.
What?
Rect. All right, so here's the list for rectum. Here's the list for rectum.
We're picking one?
Sure. Surface ornament ball. Billiard ball. That has to be unpleasant.
Yeah.
Billiard
That's smooth, though. Hey, that's a smooth surface. That's a smooth
I can
surface.
assure you. A Christmas ornament seems like a terrible idea. Those things are flimsy.
Like sandpaper.
You're gonna end up with
terrible.
fragments.
Yeah.
Those old, yeah.
that thing's gonna break apart.
glitter.
Let's hear our other choices, though.
Nail file. Shot glass. Quote, crack cocaine with sex objects. SD card. Jumped on bed - toothbrush was on bed and went up patient's rectum.
Oh,
man.
Oh, no.
I mean, likely story.
That's not how it went down. I mean, there's no way.
Anything glass related.
Plastic
Like,
pencil
why?
case.
Why?
Green crayon. iPad stylus.
Okay.
Leg of telescope. Plastic cigar holder. Plastic pill bottle. Full-sized aerosol can.
Oh, no.
Wow.
No.
Yeah.
Not a full-sized aerosol
Opposed to
can.
travel size.
Here's a full quote. Watch out for the waiting room for when Scottie Pippen joins, please.
I'm looking.
I don't want to.
Oh, he's in.
Hey,
He's in.
Scottie Pippen's here.
Scotty.
Oh, look at that.
Aerosol can for me.
Cue ball, underrated. Smooth.
Cue ball?
You hear us, Scotty?
Yes, I can hear you.
Excellent.
All right, cool.
How you been, Scotty?
I'm great. I got a pretty big crew here, I see.
And we've all got Digits bourbon to
We're
drink.
all hammered right now.
To drink with you on a Tuesday morning. So
Great, awesome. I haven't had my breakfast yet. So.
all right, we're gonna have it together then. We're gonna have
Neither have
breakfast.
we.
We're gonna
This
have,
is my breakfast right
you
here.
know Miami. Scotty knows Miami. Tuesday, 10 a.m. in Miami, bourbon. That'll work.
Yeah,
That's about right.
yeah, all over the world.
It is Tuesday morning in Miami. It is not every day you get to drink with one of the 50 best basketball players of all time, but he has sent us some Digits bourbon. Scottie Pippen with us now. You've got it in front of you. You do not think it is too early. We've all got the Digits bourbon here with us, so you're ready to start your day early on the day drinking. Do you have any rules for day drinking? Because this is dangerous. I end up asleep by 3 o'clock usually.
No, I don't really have any rules. Just take your time because it's going to be a long day.
Okay, and tell us what it is that you're doing here. How did you get into the bourbon business? Are you a bourbon expert of some sort?
I don't want to consider myself an expert, but I'm working towards that. I actually got into the bourbon, I guess, a few years back. And I guess during the pandemic, I was sort of tied to drinking bourbon every night and sitting by the fireplace. So one of my buddies sort of said to me that, hey, man, you drink a lot of bourbon. You should start your own bourbon. So from there, we started this journey, and we're here today. Had an opportunity to do this collaboration with Dave Finney, a well-renowned winemaker out of Napa. And, our meeting with Dave really hit it off. We had like a 6-hour dinner, and it turned into something very special.
We are going to drink with you at the end of this segment, but during your playing days with the Chicago Bulls, in and around Chicago, percentage of times that Scottie Pippen had to pay for a drink when he would go to a restaurant?
I would say it's less than 5%.
It was pretty good living, right? It was pretty.
It was great living. The Chicago restaurants, bars, they've always been huge fans and taking care of me. So I've never had a problem paying for a drink at a bar.
Scotty, I'm guessing that's still the case, right? Today, correct?
Yes, it is. It's definitely still the case and forever. And now that we have digits on the shelf, I'm really looking forward to some free drinks.
Are we?
He's good.
Are we at the point where Scottie Pippen, if someone charges him for a drink in Chicago, is indignant? It's like, this is insulting to me. I haven't paid for a drink here since 2003.
You know what? It's a new generation, so we got some younger bartenders out there, and some of them didn't really live through the 90s. So I'll accept paying a few times.
What is your best or favorite Dennis Rodman story? Do you have a good one you can unleash beyond just how comfortable he was, totally nude in the locker room, just sitting in front of his locker before games?
I mean, I don't think you have enough time for me to talk about Dennis, but, I had some great memories with Dennis. I think one of my fondest memories is when we won our second championship, I think, or maybe it was the first. And we went out to a party at this club called Drink, and it was so many people there celebrating with us. And all of a sudden I looked around and we were on the top floor and Dennis was, entertaining the crowd. And then all of a sudden he just took a dive out into the crowd. And it was a scary moment there for a second, but all the fans stepped in and caught him and gave him a soft landing. But that was Dennis. He always lived on the edge, but a very reliable teammate.
Scotty, ever day drink on a game day?
Do I ever drink on a game day? I've had a few drinks during the exhibition season. Me and Michael, we tested the waters a few times when we had some exhibition games. We knew we weren't playing too many minutes, so we may have a beer or two in the locker room before we go out.
Are those stories true about Michael playing, 36 holes and 48 holes before a playoff game?
Yes, they are true. I mean, Michael's an avid golfer, and he's been that way since his early 20s. I mean, since coming into the league. And it's a very addicting game for anyone who plays golf. It's more addicting than basketball, so I could see why it was a pull for him. And it's got a lot of people hooked, and Michael was a very good athlete at that time, so he was trying everything, including baseball. Remember?
You must have stories, Scotty, about, because the stakes were the gambling stakes were epic, because he had what was described as a competition problem, right? That he was always competing with everything. He was rigging some of the games, right? The stories, I believe, are true, where he would pay.
Where are you getting some of these stories from? Have you been drinking too much digits this morning?
I'm going to tell you one of the stories. You know it to be true. He would get the bag attendants at the airline. He would pay them so his bag would come out first, and he would win money from suckers who didn't know he was doing that because his bag would come out first. And I think that the stakes had to be crazy when he was gambling with you guys. It had to be a great deal of fun, and I was wondering if you were involved in those, if they made you sheepish at all. The stakes got too high.
I'm gonna go against that and say that Michael Jordan had his own beautiful bags. At this time, we didn't have team bags, so when you saw a bag come on and it had a jump man on it, I'm sure for the guys working at the airport, that was the first bag that they grabbed. So he had an advantage, but I don't think it was something that he intentionally did. It was just something he was. It was a knowing thing that he knew that people was going to jump on his bag.
Are there many things, Scott?
But
yes.
I will say that he cheated on a few of his bets.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. There you go. That
wasn't hard, Scotty.
Just not the one we were talking about, but on others, he might have been capable of that. Were you somebody, when you look back, Scottie, 30 years, knowing what you know now, what kind of advice would you go back and give yourself about enjoying it and appreciating that maybe you might not have done at 25 because you didn't know any better?
Well, I mean, I don't regret anything. I think I've had a great life. You know, I don't want to change nothing because you don't know what's going to happen. But I mean, I think I've had a great landscape in my life. I didn't really draw it out this way. I sort of dreamed of, you know, playing someday in the NBA. And, you know, lo and behold, I played in Chicago with the greatest player, the greatest coach, the greatest GM. So I was blessed through a lot of things. Why would I want to go back and change it?
What would you say were the greatest challenges, right? Because your story is epic. It doesn't even make any sense, Scottie, that you were able to overcome some of the things that you overcame to get to where you got. So you look back and say, these are the greatest challenges I overcame, or these are the greatest odds I overcame, and say what?
You know, just winning. You know, some of the challenges of coming here. You know, this was a city that wasn't a championship city as far as basketball. You know, very little fans in the stands. So, you know, when I go back and look at the whole sculpture of how things started off, it was a growing thing for myself, for the city, for the fans, and it's something that, you know, I truly loved and enjoyed. The times that I spent in Chicago during the 90s. I felt like was the greatest time to be in Chicago. I felt safe. It was a happy feeling. It was entertaining. Felt like the weather was always great. It was never cold. Maybe it was because I was sitting at home drinking digits.
Oh, you're good,
You
Scottie.
are good, Scottie.
We will get to that drink. We are going to have this drink with you before we're done with this segment.
Scottie, we've been talking a lot about Kevin Durant, and I'm interested in whether or not you agree with this, that Kevin Durant, in losing to the Milwaukee Bucks, impressed me more in terms of being a competitor and all that kind of good stuff that we love about sports than he ever has while winning championships with the Golden State Warriors. Is that fair?
Well, I think this was the first time we've seen Kevin Durant sort of carry a team. And I think he did it differently than any great player that we've ever seen. And that's with Michael and whoever. But I think we ultimately saw that he has to learn to be a better teammate, to use his talent to play winning basketball. We understand his skill level. We understand that he's unstoppable. But when you start going into overtimes and fatigue set in, then you understand team basketball is more important than any individual's success. Now, he had a heck of a game, but I think any basketball aficionado would know that an individual is not going to beat a team. And his fatigue just continued to wear down in the game. And he's a heck of a player. And he's probably the greatest scorer that we've ever seen because of his size, his length, his ability to shoot over people, his ability to shoot from range. But when you're playing against a team that plays good team basketball, and what Milwaukee Bucks was able to do in that overtime, it showed the difference as to why the better team advanced and not the better individual.
Is Kevin a better offensive player than Michael Jordan was?
Why would you ask a question like that? You're playing, you want to know, I wanted you to ask me this.
Oh, no.
Why don't we compare Kevin Durant to George Gervin? Why don't we go back 30 or 40 years? And you can throw Michael in there, but I'm not going to name Michael.
Okay.
George Gervin, slender, score, handle, had it all. But guess what he had to play against? Physicality of the hands, the forearm. Kevin Durant don't play under that stress. So why would you ask me, is Kevin Durant better than Jordan? It's a different game. Kevin Durant shooting freely threes from anywhere on the court. You couldn't touch these players after they pass half court in today's game. So how are you going to ask me to make that comparison? Michael Jordan scored 30 per game with guys hand checking, pushing, tripping, knocking him down. Wasn't no replay. Wasn't no go back and look at this. Let's talk about digits.
Okay,
You are good, Scotty.
We will talk about digits before we
Let's talk about digits, man.
Before we get you out of here, the evolution of the game. Do you like it? Not obviously not the physical.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. I'm a fan. Why? What am I to do? Turn my TV off and say I don't like the game? But I'm not comparing it anymore. I'm going to look at it for what it is. I'm not going to look back and compare this game to where the game was 30 years ago. And I would say that's when Michael was playing.
Whose hand is this on there? Is this your hand on the bottle of bourbon, on the digits?
That's the money hand. That's the hand with 6 rings. Need another finger, though.
You do need another finger. Let's have a drink here with Scottie Pippen before he gets out of here with digits
Cheers,
bourbon.
you guys.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Scotty.
we appreciate your time. We are sorry that Stugotz has upset you by trying to bait you into a headline saying that someone is better than Michael.
I love it because I'm going to control the narrative from now on.
All right.
Okay. Now you've decided.
I love digits.
He is going to control the narrative from now on. So thank you, Scotty, for being on with us. Digits Bourbon. Anything that you need people to know about Digits Bourbon before you get out of here? Anything more?
I want everybody to go out and pick up a bottle at Denny's, Mariano's, or Jules Osco. And hey, drop on my Twitter, Instagram. Let me know what you think.
It is smooth. It's nice.
Well, thank you guys for having me.
Thank you, Scotty. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
That voice. You don't want
great.
that voice upset with you.
That's some good bourbon, Scotty.
It is good.
Thank you. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you make it through the day.
I'm going to try. I'm going to try.
Scotty, when you drink this early, you just got to keep drinking. It's the only way to get through.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Good luck. Good luck with it, man.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I forgot about the shitting himself question. Damn.
Oh, yeah. Damn.
Just thought of it.
Ryan
I didn't
Kerrigan.
think of it
Ryan
until
Kerrigan.
just after.
You're asking the shit yourself question.
You didn't ask Amaechi either.
I just
Oh,
thought of it.
man.
Oh, man.
I definitely wasn't thinking about the entire Scottie Pippen interview.
Just hoping that one
Yeah,
of us
I
would
definitely
notice.
wasn't thinking that. I just thought of it. It's crazy.
Chris, if one of us had been like, Scotty, Chris has a question for you, what would you have done?
I would have just went into ham promoting. I would have just been like, let's talk about digits, Scotty. Is that what you want to talk about? I think that's what you want to talk about.
I just saw a YouTube comment that said $50 fine for Chris not asking the poop question.
Wow. Kind of cool being Scottie Pippen, huh? You're just like,
Drink
hey,
in the morning,
I drink
yeah, sure.
bourbon every day. And my friend said I should start a bourbon company because I drink bourbon every day. And now I have a bourbon company.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
I mean, you're never that far away from starting a bourbon company if you're Scottie Pippen, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Like, if you can use your celebrity to get interviews, you can get press for it. Really, the only thing is, can you partner with someone who can make you a good bourbon? I guess.
Yeah, like my friend's dad is Bon Jovi, and he started a rosé company, and they just like partnered with like winemakers, and now they have like a.
I'm sorry. There's a lead that was very
there's a
My
lot.
friend's
Okay.
dad. So first off, given your history, I was waiting for my friend's dad's cousin's roommate is Bon Jovi. But
You're friends with a Bon Jovi offspring?
Yeah, Jesse. He went to Notre Dame.
Jesse Bon Jovi.
Yes.
Stugotz's gears are turning. Stugotz wants to have
Stugotz
he
is
wants him on the
like,
show
how
by
do we
Monday.
get Jesse on Stupidity to bring
Yeah.
his dad on the show?
Yeah. We could skip Jesse. Just get right to John. I mean,
How did this relationship develop, and what were you going to say before we were all distracted by the introduction of
Well, because
my
it was
friend's
just said
dad,
so
Bon Jovi?
casually,
right,
though.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
My friend's
dad is Bon
Jovi. Right.
Well, I was saying like when you're talking about celebrities starting like alcohol labels. So, a few years ago, my friend, when he graduated Notre Dame, him and his dad decided, let's start a rosé label. And his dad is Bon Jovi. So they were able to find, using, I'm sure, his connections with famous people, find growers, find suppliers, and then manufacture it. And like obviously marketing it is not that hard when you're Bon Jovi. I mean, I'm sure it's not easy, but it's also like you're Bon Jovi, people will talk to you.
I wonder how that story.
Jovi.
I wonder how that story would have gone if you just said, "My friend Jesse's dad, John, wanted to start a rosé company."
Terrible story.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys would have been like, "Why is she saying this?" So I had to name drop.
Have you been to the Bon Jovi residence? Have you been on the Bon Jovi boat? Have you experienced any of the Bon Jovi perks?
No, because Jesse is very normal. Like he doesn't
get over yourself, Jesse.
He doesn't talk. He talks about his dad and just says like, "Oh, my dad this, my dad that." And like Bon Jovi, from everything I can tell, is a family man and doesn't have some like crazy. I mean, he's obviously loaded, but he doesn't live like a crazy lifestyle. So Jesse doesn't really ever.
So
talk
there is
about
no
it.
there is
You've
no
never
like
been there. Have you met John? I mean,
No. Well, yes, I have. That's a lie. I have met him. I met him at Yankee Stadium once on the sideline during a Notre Dame game.
So Jess, so like Jesse Bon Jovi, does like he have? First off, is it he or she?
He.
Sorry.
He.
Okay.
I don't know why I said she.
I mean, you know, it's
Stugotz.
It's in. Let's see.
I know Jesse.
Anyway.
Jesse is like.
It's an androgynous name. Is there ever like an Insta story where like you see some of the perks of the Bon Jovi family in the Insta story and you go like you want to like slide into DMs and go, hey, you know, I'd like to partake.
Yeah, but like what would I do? Like, hey, can I come over to your dad's Hamptons house? Or like, can I?
Yep.
No, you just not like that. Not like that. Hey, saw you were in the Hamptons. I'm actually going to be there this weekend. We should catch up. Maybe I'll swing by the place. And then when he says yes, then you book a flight to the Hamptons. You go immediately.
No, I feel like I like Jesse because he's a nice guy and not because his dad's Bon Jovi. And I don't want to be one of those people that like leeches on to someone. I'm sure there are so many people that he grew up with and went to school with who just pay attention to him because his dad's famous. And like, I don't want to be one of those people. And like, so what? It's the Hamptons. The Hamptons are fine. I don't need to go to the Hamptons.
You're doing this wrong.
You're playing it all wrong.
It's Jesse Bon Jovi. Just, hey, I'm Jesse. Just a normal guy.
It's Jesse, please.
Normal guy. Driving a Lamborghini.
Yeah, I'm looking this Jesse up on Instagram right now. Don't you think I'm not?
Jesse Bon Jovi?
Yeah, but Bon Jovi's spelled differently.
Yeah, it's like Bongiovi.